to all of you. Namaskar. Good evening to all of you. I am very much thankful to Visamo Kids Foundation for inviting me for this wonderful session to address with respect to the national education policy, vocationalizing school education. Friends, Visamo Kids Foundation is doing a wonderful social responsibility education related activities. Kalorex is itself in education and it's a social responsibility. Visamo Kids Foundation is doing a social responsibility in a very specific area of providing education from deprived section of the society children across Gujarat. Every year they bring children from deprived section of the society and provide them education, provide them shelter, provide them life. Thank you. Now let's start with new national education policy. Friends, lot of people, they talk about the national education policy. We are thankful to the government of India for bringing this new education policy. If you see the history of education policy since 1964 to 68, Kothari Commission worked for the education policy and brought the education policy in 1968. And they talk about the livelihood, they talk about the practical knowledge, they talk about the system. But 1986, the Yashpal Committee, they brought effectively vocational education in education policy in a major way. दोस्तों, वोकेशनल एजुकेशन कोई नया सब्जेक्ट नहीं है. ये सब्जेक्ट बहुत बार डिस्कस हो चुका है, डिस्कस हो रहा है, डिस्कस होने वाला है. वोकेशनल एजुकेशन इज द पार्ट ऑफ आवर मेन स्ट्रीम, आवर लाइफ. Recently, with new education policy in 2019, whatever the draft policy was done under the K. Kasturi Rangan committee, now they have come up with a final education policy. Vocational education is always considered the part of education but as a side stream. The unique feature of this policy is now vocational education is the part of the mainstream. Friends, part of the mainstream is very, very important. The reason? Now this policy is putting up academic education, vocational education, professional education, technical education together. And it happens. I don't know earlier why this not happened. Always vocational education was considered as a part, but side stream. हमारे वहाँ पे हम लोग कारपेंटर्स, इलेक्ट्रिशियंस, गार्डनर्स, वेरियस पीपल हु आर वर्किंग इन द सर्विस एरिया, हम लोग उनको देखते हैं. हमारे वहाँ पे एक सिस्टम है जो हिपोक्रेटिक सिस्टम है. हम लोग कुछ काम को अपर लेवल का काम, कुछ काम को निम्न लेवल का काम मानते हैं. और ये सब जो है वो किसकी वजह से है? हमारे माइंडसेट की वजह से. ये न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी वो माइंडसेट को ठीक करने के लिए बचपन से बच्चों को एजुकेशन में वोकेशनल एजुकेशन एज ए मेन स्ट्रीम इंडक्ट करने जा रहा है. इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. हम लोग मानते हैं, हम लोग ऐसा सोचते हैं, रिक्शा चलाना इट्स ओके, ड्राइवर बनना इज ओके, कंडक्टर बनना इज ओके, ऑफिस में बैठ के व्हाइट कॉलर जॉब करना इज वंडरफुल. बट ऑल दिस strata in our mind, all this hypocrisy in our mind is likely to go with this new education policy. It's not so easy. But this is a wonderful try to remove this. Now, vocational education को हम पहले क्या समझते थे? ये मेरी स्पीच में हिंदी और इंग्लिश दोनों में दे रहा हूँ क्योंकि सम ऑफ द पीपल कैन अंडरस्टैंड हिंदी ओनली, दैट आई केम टू नो. वोकेशनल एजुकेशन को पहले जो बोला जाता था, इट वॉज कंसिडर्ड एज ए टेक्निकल एजुकेशन, इट वॉज कंसिडर्ड एज ए स्किल डेवलपमेंट. But new education policy has a clear-cut understanding. Skill development, whether it's a hard skill or soft skill, is the subset or part of the vocational education. Vocational education is going to address knowledge and skill area to develop the attitude of a child. This is a wonderful development. Professional education is the vocational education. Technical education is the vocational education. But here, skill development, whatever we were considering, is not just only the vocational education, it is a part of the vocational education. Holistic development of a child is the objective of this new education policy. And in holistic development, I'm using this word repeatedly, hypocrisy is to be removed. Whatever the realistic approach is there for the life should come. And how the realistic approach? What is the practical world? Why the children are studying? They are going to be prepared for the practical world. So for this practical world, they should understand what is their life in the local area, which are the lok vidyas, local area strengths, skills available in the local area, skill mapping, skill understanding. All these things children should know. But till so far we were knowing, but we were not doing. We were not putting it, we are not just putting on the main front. Now with this new education policy, it is a fresh approach, new approach. It collaborates, it has a mandate to collaborate with ITIs, NGOs, diploma colleges and various stakeholders wherever the children are likely to learn the vocational education and go in the real world. आजकल हमारे जो बच्चे स्कूल कॉलेजेस में पढ़ते हैं उनको प्रैक्टिकल लाइफ का नॉलेज क्यों इतना दिया नहीं जाता है जो देना चाहिए? This question is being addressed by the new education policy. Vocational education is the part of the mainstream. Academic education, like that vocational education, is going to be implemented in all education institutes, particularly for the schools. So it's in our case of the vocationalizing school education. It is for the secondary and higher secondary schools. Now it has a mandate of 100% students of class from 9 to 12 must receive at least one vocational area education. It will help to develop their mindset. It will help to understand their local area skills. It will help for their life to implement their skill for their livelihood, for understanding their life better. Now design, delivery and assessment, this model, how it will be implemented with new education policy for vocational education. In design for curriculum development, the policy says now NCERT has to sit with National Committee for Vocational Integration Development. And with this, they will be following with a National Skill Qualification Framework, Sector Skill Councils. They will collaborate with all these other committees and bodies and they will develop the vocational courses. Now, delivery. It is a big challenge. The reason is that whenever every school will go, just think. It's a huge scale. This is a huge country. Out of 27 crore students going to the schools from 1 to 12 standard, around 3.9 crore students are in 11th, 12th standard, senior secondary level. 4.4 crore students are in a secondary level, 9 to 10. And balanced students in elementary education in primary and upper primary level. Now this policy advocates vocational education from 6 to 8 and 9 to 12. In 6 to 8, basic knowledge with internship with local industries and local bodies. 6 to 8 children at least they should go for 10 days in local industries for 10 days internship. They should be acquainted. This is a wonderful opportunity given by the new education policy. Now in delivery, there are challenges with respect to how you will get the teachers, how you will get here major term is coming as a with teachers, trainers. They are giving the skill imparts, skill knowledge. So it's a huge challenge, and this challenge, how to address it is also mentioned in the policy. They have to collaborate with the local bodies, local ITIs, local diploma colleges, local technical institutions, nearby institutions providing the vocational education, and accordingly the children should be trained by the trainers. They have also given the provision for the teachers at rural area, remote area, where such type of provision is not possible. Your school teachers should be train the trainers program, train the teachers program. Now third part is coming as assessment. Here sector skill council, national vocational, national skill development council, national vocational qualification council, their work is coming up in a picture and they should be collaborated. Here it has given the mandate that they should collaborate with the sector skill council effectively, because more than 27 sector skill council in 27 sectors are already working, whether it is a textiles and garments, whether it is a construction, whether it is a plumbing and masonry jobs, whether it is a air conditioning and refrigeration, whether it is a mechanics, hydraulics, whether it is a automation. You see any of the sector, more than 27 sectors council, focus sectors, even security services, hospitality services, all these areas, now sectors councils are working and they are doing a wonderful job, and they have an assessment system ready with them. National skill qualification framework has a 1 to 4 level. Now these levels should be integrated with 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th. So every student passing out from the secondary and higher secondary will have at least one vocational subject input and one vocational subject, one vocational area understanding. This will help the child, the students, to be a man, to have a livelihood in future. हमारी जिंदगी में दोस्तों वोकेशनल एजुकेशन हमेशा था, हमेशा रहेगा. But because our education system has seen in last 200 years various changes, from Gurukul system to the Macaulay system, now university system, now higher education system, now new school education system, now new education policy has done complete brainstorming. I can't say complete, but lot of brainstorming at huge level, and they have integrated whichever areas were required to be integrated, and putting vocational education in the mainstream is a one try. हम लोग हमेशा गार्डनिंग का काम, माली का काम, ड्राइवर का काम, कंडक्टर का काम, प्लम्बिंग का काम, इलेक्ट्रिशियन का काम, उसको हमने एक सेक्टर कर दिया है. The people who are doing the job is a secondary level. The people who are doing higher education, they are the first level. But it is not like that in the life. It is not happening like that. A lot of people from the vocational fronts, they have established the industries and they have become successful entrepreneurs, and they have imparted huge economic value to this country. It's very normal. So why it should not be addressed in effective way with vocational education? So this integration is given as a mandate by the primary, by sorry, national education policy, new national education policy. Now, what he has, this policy is telling, it has given the integration mandate in all secondary schools. It has given the mandate for sharing the best know-how, लोक विद्या. हम लोग हमारे पास जो अच्छा है बातें करते हैं, लेकिन जब बच्चों को पढ़ाने की बात आती है तो उसके लिए तो हमारी स्कूल्स और एजुकेशन सिस्टम की ही बात करते हैं. जब बच्चा वो जॉब मार्केट में जंप करता है तब वो कंफ्यूज होता है, उसको करना था कुछ और कर रहा है कुछ और, उसकी लाइकिंग थी कुछ और कहीं और जगह पे वो बैठ गया है. उसके लिए कुछ और मैंडेट है और कुछ और मैंडेट को वो फॉलो कर रहा है. These confusions and these gaps should be removed, and these gaps are required to be removed through this new education policy implementation effectively. Friends, आपके घर में भी काम वाली बाई आती होगी, आपके घर में भी ड्राइवर होगा. आपने कभी देखा है उनकी एक्सपर्टाइज कैसे आती है, वो अपने काम को कितने लेवल पे समझते हैं. वो एक ऑर्थोडॉक्स पद्धति से समझते हैं, उनके पास एक एक्सपीरियंस लेवल है. न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी उस नॉलेज को इंटीग्रेट करना चाहता है अपनी एजुकेशन सिस्टम में फॉर बेटर अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ लाइफ फॉर अ चिल्ड्रन. जो उसके आसपास जो हो रहा है उसको वो राइट रूप से देखे, उसको वो समझे, उससे वो अपने आप को एजुकेट करे और अपनी लाइफ को सक्सेसफुल बनाए. This is the new education policy. New education policy is talking about the holistic development of a child. Now, which are the framework this policy has already talked about? This is National Skill Qualification Framework. This National Occupational Standards. These are the framework going to be used for स्टैंडर्ड 9 to 12 सीनियर सेकेंडरी एंड सीनियर सेकेंडरी. आपको ये क्वेश्चन होगा कि न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी से क्या हमारे बच्चे ड्राइवर, कंडक्टर और प्लम्बर और इलेक्ट्रिशियन बन जाएंगे? नहीं, वो ज़रूरी नहीं है. लेकिन वो अगर ज़रूरत पड़ी तो वो अच्छे ड्राइवर, कंडक्टर बन पाएंगे, अच्छे प्लम्बर बन पाएंगे, अच्छे इलेक्ट्रिशियन बन पाएंगे. लेकिन जो ये वोकेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी है वो इससे भी ऊपर की बातें करती है, उससे भी ऊपर का उसका विजन है. इट्स नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट जस्ट मेंटेनेंस, इट्स नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट जस्ट इलेक्ट्रिकल मेंटेनेंस, मैकेनिकल मेंटेनेंस. इट्स टॉकिंग अबाउट अबव मेंटेनेंस टोटल सिनेरियो डेवलपमेंट फॉर मेंटेनेंस मैनेजमेंट, वोकेशनल डेवलपमेंट, वोकेशनल अंडरस्टैंडिंग, वोकेशनल क्रिएटिविटी. न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी बच्चों के लिए क्रिएटिविटी की बातें करती है. हाउ दिस क्रिएटिविटी विल कम? ए चाइल्ड शुड अंडरस्टैंड द लोकल नॉलेज, चाइल्ड शुड अंडरस्टैंड द लाइफ ऑफ their फैमिली मेंबर्स, चाइल्ड शुड अंडरस्टैंड वॉट एवर द लाइफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग they are getting from their family, friends and other stakeholders, not only school. So that is the part of vocational education. There are 3 levels of the skills it talks. Primary level of the skills, the skills a child is understanding with a life. बैठना, चलना, बोलना. Secondary level of the skills, dancing, music, all these skills, drawing. Tertiary level of the skills are vocational skills. There are soft skills and hard skills. Hard skills with the technology, hard skills with the hospitality, hard skills with the soft understanding, hard skills with practical understanding. This new education policy wonderful feature 6 to 8, they also ask to have experts from the industry, at least some understanding for children. So, we really appreciate this new education policy. It talks about various areas. It is not the part of my talk today, so I am not touching the other areas of National Education Policy 2019. Now this policy has overall understanding of life for a children. A child has a clear-cut understanding of the life, where to go, how to go, when to go, and with whom to go. All these questions with respect to the child's life is going to be addressed by this academic education and having a vocational education in the mainstream. So friends, I congratulate Visamo Kids Foundation for doing a lot of activities. Kalorex is also in vocational education, and various foundations, NGOs are already effectively working since long in vocational education. Only the point is that how we implement successfully, that will be the, the success level. That will be the real achievement of this policy. And we wish all the best. And for that, we have to remove our ego level to reach to the eco level. Whatever the chair we sit and we thought about the chair is supreme, now it is not like that. More than chair, the life is there, and the life will offer different chairs. With your vocational education, in various Western countries it's very common. China is already much ahead in vocational education. Germany is much ahead in vocational education, and we have to reach to that level. Just from 5% people in the job force are already given the vocational education to reach to the 50 to 70% in next 7 to 10 years. So I wish this policy will be helpful to the various children who are studying with Visamo Kids Foundation level, Visamo Kids Foundation, through Visamo Kids Foundation various schools, various schools across the country, and it will give the right impact of understanding the life skills with vocational skills for the children. जिंदगी लेके कहीं जा रही है, आज हमने समझा है ये एजुकेशन पॉलिसी हमें ज़िंदगी कहाँ लेके जाएगी, उसका अंडरस्टैंडिंग कैसे आएगा और उसको क्यों लेके जाना है. I wish all success to all children of this country in coming years with new education policy, with vocationalizing school education and vocational education policy. Thank you very much. Thank you.